So I wonder if the municipal government has the authority to do that, if that's a provincial issue, or if that's a national issue.
Just let me clarify. You want us to put a bubble to protect?
A bubble, like within, like I believe this occurs in Toronto, where there's like a bubble on the day where they're performing. You know, there's a bubble where protesters.
It's called a bubble zone.
Yes.
And many governments in other parts of Canada support a bubble zone that's a zone of exclusion for anti-choice protesters so that they're unable to harass women who are coming to the clinics for treatment.
And doctors and volunteers and employees as well. Good idea.
Your turn.
Well, I've talked to a few people that think that this is an issue. Megan, you're certainly one of them. And I think, you know, people who are performing legal services or who have access to legal services shouldn't be harassed. And I would support certainly speaking with some of these people that are choice protesters and hopefully coming to an agreement whereby people can be respected.
But is that a municipal issue or is it more a provincial one?
In other jurisdictions, I don't know. Actually, maybe I should let you answer on this.
You know, I guess my response to that would be is, you know, nobody wants to be harassed. But the fact of the matter is, there's two sides. One believes just as strongly as the other, and they're going to be there to protest. You know, creating a bubble or creating a zone to, you know, preclude somebody from being harassed, I don't think it's going to do anybody any good whatsoever. You know, basically, that's the country that we live in. Sorry?
On that topic, this kind of thing includes police officers usually who will stop people who get too close and harass too much.
Well, you know, I think there's a very fine line in harassment, what it is and how far you go with it. But I can tell you something, on the other side of the issue, there's also this issue of free speech and expression, which is certainly not a municipal issue. I, as mayor, I'm certainly not, you know, prepared to jump on one side and say you can't do this and win the other side. I mean, both sides believe in what they believe in. And I'm not sure about what the harassment that you're talking about. Are they hollering at people that are going in, or?
And throwing holy water on people when it's -30 and throwing dust and screaming and just being generally mad. It's not a matter of like what they're doing. It's just my question is, who do I talk to try to make this happen?
Yeah, look, this is a municipal issue. It's a municipal issue in other cities, and I realize you know, Brad is right that people feel very strongly about this, and it's very unlikely that you know, we're going to be able to change people's mind about this. But I don't think that people should be harassed, and I would be interested in sitting down with people on both sides, finding out what the problem is, and trying to arrive at some solution.
Just follow up, Mayor. I just was wondering if somebody was doing this in front of King's Place, you know, was throwing stuff at people and screaming and yelling. Would you allow it there? I mean, to me, it's completely unlikely that anybody would allow this unless it was around an abortion clinic. I mean, if you had a crazy person screaming at people on King Street, wouldn't you put a stop to it?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's the answer. Why is it legitimate when it's happening in an abortion clinic?
The question is, when does free speech become hate speech?
Right.
If either of you could tell me what you qualify as hate speech, that would be nice.
Okay. Hate speech would obviously fall under a federal jurisdiction, and I think if there's hate speech that is being perpetrated on somebody for whatever the reason, whatever the protest, then I think something should be done with that. If it's a matter of standing there in silent protest, or if it's a matter of saying what you want to say to protest, that's an entirely different story. If somebody is being abused, or somebody is being treated in that manner, then by all means, yes, something should be done about it.
So in that case,
I have never had anybody call me, by the way.
throwing dust or water or rocks at windows will count as hate speech?
That's illegal. I mean, that's against the law to throw rocks at people's windows. So regardless of the issue, it should be prosecutable. Yeah.
Along a different